Hello, welcome back, and right now we are going to talk about flex-shrink property. In order to understand the flex-shrink property, I have just created a new page which is example.html. And what I have done here, if I open up in the browser like here, as you can see, I have just created three divs, which is here, and these are the flex items, which is inside the flex container, and you can see here I've just given the display flex property to the flex container, and I've just given the width and height to these items, and also given the flex grow value of 1, and I've given the color to the flex items. So let's talk about the flex shrink property. So flex shrink property is work opposite as flex grow property. As we know that flex grow property is used to grow the element when there is a empty space out there, and the flex grow value will fill up the space according to the rate which we've given in the value. So the flex shrink property is used to shrink the flex item inside the flex container when the browser size is gets smaller. If I resize the browser, you will see every item is shrinking exactly the same. So let's add the flex shrink property to this flex item 1. So let's add the flex shrink property. We'll say flex shrink, and we will not say 1 because the flex shrink property by defaultly have a value of 1, and the flex container items will already have given the flex shrink property of 1. So we don't use the 1, we will say flex shrink 3, and let's say what's happened. And if we refresh the page, you can see pretty much nothing has happened, and when we reduce the size of the browser, you will see the changes. You can clearly see that the first div which we have given the flex shrink property and value 3 have shrink 3 times faster than these two element which is have been shrinked, and these two element is shrinking by the default value of flex shrink 1, which is already given to these flex items. If I say flex shrink 0, then it will not shrink at all. Let's say if I say 0 here and 0 here and save the file, and I refresh the page, you can see the flex item which is given the flex shrink 0 value is not have been shrinking at all, and you can see the flex item 1 is shrink 3 times faster than these two elements. If I increase the size of the browser, you will see it is getting back its position, and when I reduce the size, you can see it reducing 3 times faster than these two other element, because we have set to the browser that do not shrink with the default size, and we have given the value of 0, and the value of 0 means that do not shrink the flex item 2 and do not shrink the flex item 3 as well. So that is why you see these two element is not shrinking, and we have given the larger value of 3 which is 3 times faster than these two element, so that is why it's shrinking faster than these two element, and we have said that do not shrink at all. By default, the width of this element will be the width that we have given to the flex container items, which is 200 pixels. You can see inside the browser I have selected the flex item 2, and it's given the 200 pixel width and 200 pixel height. And if I scroll down and if I select flex item 3, you can see we have given the width of 200 pixel and height of 200 pixel. If I remove this flex shrink property, it will defaultly set flex shrink to 1. If I refresh the page, you will notice that the rate of this shrink rate to this flex item 2 is now set to 1. If I select the element, you will see the width is reduced. Why? Because we have not given the flex shrink property value 0. So 0 mean do not give the default value and do not shrink this item. If we again give this flex item to a flex shrink property of 0, you will see that this element will not shrink at all. because we have said do not shrink the item by giving the value of 0. The 0 means do not shrink it. If I resize the browser to its normal image, you can see the item which has given the flex-shirnk 3 is now grow according to the grow property which I have given here. So the flex-shrinking property shrink the item when we reduce the browser size. So that is how a flex shrink property works inside the flex container. So that's it for now, and see you in the next lecture.